Hello everybody and welcome. In today's video we're going to be going over multiplying polynomials and we'll be doing 5 examples total. So without further ado, let's get it. Example number 1. So we have 3x multiplied by this polynomial here to the right of it. So what we do is whenever we have the number on the outside of the parentheses, we actually have to distribute that to every number inside of the parentheses. Okay. And when we multiply, what we're going to get is 3x times 2x squared is 6x to the third. All right. And just a little quick explanation when you are multiplying, with exponents and stuff like that. Whenever you're multiplying these, you add the exponents together. So that's x to the third. So that's how you get 6x to the third there. Next, you get 3x minus 5x, which is negative 15x squared. And then you have 3x times 2, which is plus 6x. So this is our final answer for this problem. Therefore, this example is complete. Example number 2. We have these two binomials being multiplied to each other. And you probably heard in the past about the FOIL method. Um, but I think you don't even need that. That's just something extra that you have to try to remember. All you do whenever you have two polynomials that are multiplied to each other is you just multiply every number by each other that are in the separate parentheses. So, for example, we're just going to take this one step at a time. We're going to take the x here and the first binomial and multiply it to both of the numbers inside. So when we do that, we'll get x times 4x is 4x squared. And then x times negative 5 is negative 5x. Okay, so we took that x and we multiplied it to all the numbers inside there. Now, we take the negative 6 and multiply it to both of the numbers inside. And what we get is negative 6 times 4x is negative 24x. Negative 6 times negative 5 is positive 30. All right, and now what we got to do is combine like terms. So we see that there's a negative 5x and a negative 24x. Since the variables are the same there, we can add them together. So we get 4x squared negative 5 minus 24 is negative 29x plus 30. This is going to be our final answer. Therefore, this example is complete. Example number 3. So we have these two binomials here. And what we're going to do is the same thing as before. You take the first number from the first binomial and you multiply it to both the numbers in the other one. So x times x becomes x squared. X times 7 becomes 7x. And now we take the negative 7 here and we multiply it to both of those numbers. And what we get is negative 7 times x is negative 7x. And then negative 7 times 7 is negative 49. All right, we're going to go ahead and combine like terms, these ones here. And what we end up getting is x squared. Those cancel out, becomes 0 minus 49. And that is going to be our final answer. Therefore, this example is complete. Example number 4. In this case, we have a binomial multiplied by a trinomial. So it's going to be the same exact concept as before. You take the first number in the first polynomial here, and we multiply it to everything on the inside of the second one. So when we do that, we got x times 2x squared is 2x cubed minus, it's going to be 5x squared plus 2x. All right, now we take the negative 2 and multiply it to everyone on the inside. When we do that, we get negative 2 times 2x squared is negative 4x squared. And we get plus 10x minus 4. All right, so now we want to combine like terms. So let's look at the x cubes. Are there any x cubes? No, that's the only one. So we're going to go ahead and write that down. Now let's look at x squared terms. So there's 1x squared right there. There's another x squared right there. Okay. So negative 5x squared minus 4x squared is negative 9x squared. Now let's look at x terms. You got positive 2x and a positive 10x. So when we add those together, you get plus 12x. And now we just have this lonely number right there. So we just bring that down. All right. So this right here is our final answer. And this example is complete. Example number 5. In this one, we have two trinomials being multiplied to each other. And pretty much it's the same exact process. That's why I picked this example here. No matter how large they are, if you have two polynomials being multiplied to each other, it's the same exact process. So let's first begin by multiplying the x squared into everything in here. And when we do that, we get 3x to the 4th power plus x to the 3rd plus 4x squared. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and multiply this 2 to everything inside the other trinomial there. And when we do that, we get negative 2x times 3x squared is negative 6x cubed minus 2x squared minus 8x. And now we just have the last one, which is this negative 3 here. So we just distribute that to everything. And what we get is negative 9x squared plus negative 3x minus 12. All right. So now all we do is combine like terms. Let's start with the highest ordered x. So we have 3x to the 4th. There are no other x to the 4th values, so we're just going to go ahead and write that one down. 3x to the 4th. Now let's look at our x to the 3rd powers. We have that one, and that is it. So we only have 2 of those, so we're going to add those together. So you got x cubed minus 6x cubed is negative 5x cubed, like that. Now let's look at our x squared terms. We have 4x squared, negative 2x squared, and negative 9x squared. So let's go ahead and add those together. 4x squared minus 2x squared is 2x squared, minus 9x squared is negative 7x squared. Now let's look at our x terms. We have that one there and that one there. So that is going to be negative 11x. And then the last thing we have is this 12 here, or negative 12. So we're just going to bring that down. So this is going to be our final answer for this problem. Therefore, this example is complete.